I'd like to call to order the Board of Safety public meeting for Wednesday, October 27th, 2021. If we can please rise and salute the flag, and also have a moment of silence for Jim Kyleman, who passed away, who was a commander here at the police department. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Josh Gover.
Present.
Jim Olthoff.
Present.
Dave Villalobos.
Present.
Norman Stick.
Present.
Charlie Caper.
President.
Ralph Miller.
Present.
Bill Fisher.
Here.
Tom Wilkeny.
Here.
Carl Brittingham is absent, and Nick Mager is absent.
I'd like the record to also show that the attorney, Dave Watkins, is present, please. All right, we have to call for public comment 3 times. If you need to make public comment, please approach the podium and state your name and address. Public comment once. Public comment twice. Public comment 3 times. Being none, we'll move onward. I need a motion to approve the minutes of Wednesday, September 22nd meeting. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
I have a motion from Josh. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second from Dave. Are there any questions in regards to minutes? Being none, we'll have a roll call vote, please.
Josh Gover.
Yes.
Jim Olthoff.
Yes.
Dave Villalobos.
Yes.
Norman Stick.
I have to abstain.
Okay. Charlie Caper.
Yes. Motion carries 4-0. VIP's report, please.
Evening, everyone. In front of you see the September hours for the VIPS unit. We all made our hours for a total of 91 for the month of September. There were no call-outs. However, we did assist Lowell PD with traffic control for their funeral of Lowell officer's son at the Sheik's funeral home.
Okay. Any new recruits?
Sergeant Yager and I were out at the farmer's market today, and 1 application went out.
That's fabulous. That's better than nothing.
Yes, it is.
Appreciate your diligence. Anyone else have any questions?
No.
All right. Keep up the good work.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Tim.
Thanks, Tim.
Communications. These are Will.
Board, we received a letter from Senator Braun's office, was brought to us by Tony Ferreira, his regional director, and it stated, "I'm writing to you, offer my sincere gratitude and appreciation to the law enforcement community of Northwest Indiana after the events at Lake County, or Lake Central High School in St. John, Indiana earlier this month. On September 8th, Northwest Indiana was shaken with the call, 'No one wants to hear,' active shooter at Lake Central High School. We thank God that that was not the case and no one was harmed. Law enforcement response was immediate and excellent. Agencies from every level of municipality, county, state, and federal answered the call to protect our children. Each department followed their training and worked seamlessly for an effective and professional response. As we have tragically seen in recent times, our brave men and women in law enforcement are experiencing constant disdain and disrespect from those that they work tirelessly every day to protect. I am proud to stand with law enforcement around the state and take this opportunity to thank you personally, each department that responded to the incident at Lake Central, with the characteristic professionalism and marks of our Hoosiers that wear the badge. On behalf of all Hoosiers, I extend my gratitude for a job well done. If there's anything I can do to be of service to your organization, please do not hesitate to contact me. It is my honor to serve you in the United States Senate. Sincerely, Mike Braun, United States Senator.
All right, thank you.
And I also received 2 cards from Ms. Flores' class. I think they're from students that just wanted to thank us The Cedar Lake Police Department, thank you for keeping us safe. You're amazing and so caring. I love you all. Love, Angela Kay. Dear Cedar Lake Police Department, thank you for keeping us safe and watching over us. I love when the police officers come to my school for lunch and recess. My favorite officers are Kilgore, Stickle, and Miller. They always played with us on the playground. I love the police department and the officers. And then a third one from, we drew a really nice badge actually on the card. Thank you for keeping USA safe and making USA what it is. I feel bad some of you guys stay up 24/7. Thank you so much. So, that was pretty cute. We get those randomly from the schools. Kind of warms the heart a little bit. And then the third card I received this month was from Mrs. Kyleman. It says, Dear Chief Fisher and the Cedar Lake Police Department, words cannot express what your kindness and support means to me and our family. Thanks all of you for honoring Jim in the way you did, from being there for me after he passed and escorting him to the funeral home, and then the honor guard and escorting him to the church. God bless all of you, Lorraine Kyleman, Eric, Rachel, Huck, Otto, and Levi, Mickey. Just as during this time we realize how much our friends and relatives really mean to us. Your expression of sympathy will always be remembered.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Todd, do you have any communication?
Yeah, I have one from the Kalman family as well. Thank you for honoring Jim with the escort from our home and also from the funeral home to the church. It was beautiful, and we appreciate it. That was from the family. And then Chief Fisher sent me one that said thank you to the Cedar Lake Fire Department for your assistance during the escort in honor of the Reserve Commander James Kyleman. Appreciate your support. And then the last communication we'll find out this Friday. We're going to visit a daycare center out in the township, so they've already invited us for pumpkin pie. So.
We also issued letters out this week, not just to the fire department, but to the VIPs, for their support and what they did to help us out for Commander Com, as well as St. John Police Department, Crown Point Police Department, Crown Point Fire. I'm sorry, I wrote that down. Crown Point, or Cedar Lake Fire, Cedar Lake VIPs, and Lowell Fire Department. Crown Point helped block roads for us. St. John sent 2 officers here the day of the funeral, and they worked the road with one of our officers, so that the rest of them could attend the funeral together. So it was really nice to have that camaraderie. We sent letters to them thanking them as well.
Thank you. All right, staffing, police department?
Obviously, we have 3 officers on injured reserve. Officer Stickle has an appointment next month, but he's now out because he's COVID positive. Officer Maxson has another appointment next month, and Officer Miller is going to have surgery in the next 2 weeks. The time that we were told was 5 weeks until he can swing a golf club, 6 months until he can go to war. So you have to figure out in between then when the doctor's going to release him to come back to work. So, obviously said it in a joking manner, but now we're 3 down, so.
What about our academy?
Our academy students graduate November 15th, and then they'll start their FTO program, which will last until, at minimum, the end of February.
Is that open to the public, graduation?
No, I'm not even allowed to attend.
I just was curious.
Yeah, they won't let nobody in it because of COVID.
That's no problem.
I got to watch Officer Dills online. So they do have it online on YouTube, so you can watch it. I'll post it. I think I let you guys know when Dills graduated. I'll do the same thing, let you guys know if you have an opportunity to watch it.
All right, appreciate that. Any fire staffing?
Yeah, I currently have one out that's in the University of Chicago with a medical problem, who is supposed to be released this afternoon, and hopefully he'll be back on his shift on Saturday. I'm waiting to hear back the
Full-time person or?
full-time, yep. I'm not at liberty to discuss his medical issue. The staffing as well, as far as hiring, are we to that point?
And now, or
Okay.
later on, whatever you-
Under the,
You wanna do it now?
yeah, under the hiring, tonight, I'm asking to amend the agenda to hire Robert Van Kyken, as next full-timer.
All right, I need a motion on the floor to amend the agenda for the purpose of fire department hire full-time officer.
Motion.
All right, I have a motion from Norm.
Second.
Second from Jim. Any questions? Being none, we need to have a roll call vote, please.
Josh Govert?
Yes.
Jim Olsop?
Yes.
Dave Villalobos?
Yes.
Norm Stick?
Yes.
Charlie Gaber?
Yes, motion carries 5-0.
This position was approved by the council, to move forward, based upon your approval, and if you could get a letter to the council for the council meeting to, ask
And
the
this
council
is
to
for
approve.
activation, what's the date again on this one?
It'd be December 27th would be the first shift of the new year, new payroll, the new year. I talked to Margot, that's when they would like to start him, so they starts on the first of the year payroll.
All
They
right,
don't like to start anybody in the middle of the payroll, unless it's a month, so.
all right, I need a motion.
I'll make a motion, we, write the letter to hire, to recommend the hire.
All right, I have a motion from Dave. There's a second from Jim. Any questions on this? Being none, we'll have a roll call vote for the hire.
Do you want to list the person's name?
Sure.
Robert Van Kyken, yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Roll call vote.
Josh Govert?
Yes.
Jim Olsop?
Yes.
Dave Villalobos?
Yes.
Norm Stick?
Yes.
Lester Gaber?
Yes, motion carries 5-0. So we need to have a letter prepared, and I'll sign it, and then it will go to the town council.
The second position that the council has approved for next year is, based upon the ordinance that gets completed between Dave and I, in reference to fire and EMS billing, to be able to help support that position. Mr. Austin and I have been working on that, and hopefully that will be done in the near future so that we can get that position filled as well. And I would like to offer that position to the number 2 on the hiring list. But yet I would like all of you to interview
Yeah, that will happen after we interview all the candidates.
the other
that
5
are
candidates,
up for
yes,
this.
yep.
How far out are you on that ordinance?
I just got some information over to him, a week ago,
We're working on it.
so it should be
A
done,
month?
yeah,
Yeah.
we just think a month. Now, I'm hoping before the first of the year, so that next year we can put a schedule together on when we can hire the second person, because it's in the budget to be able to do it, but the budget's gotta be supported by, the ordinance, so.
It'll be ready for the first effective date by then.
Right, anything else on fire?
I have 3 applicants for volunteer as well. Only one, I have, 2 guys and 1 female. She does have her EMT certification, but no fire background, so we have had a change at the District 1 Fire Training Academy. The head training instructor took a job as the Dyer Fire Chief, so we're trying to get the academy kicked off hopefully as soon as possible. Once they could get going, then we're gonna get them in the academy. They're coming to the station now and getting all the gear they need, the old gear that we put them through, and get them the academy set up and put them through the application process to get their physical and everything. And then they wait for the academy to start. And I'll bring them to you guys at the next meeting so that you can meet them. But they're kind of on hold waiting on the academy, so we got plenty of time for them to see you. Would that be all right? If you guys get to see them next meeting? All right. Sarah, would you please remind me? Or put it on my agenda, or the agenda, thank you.
All right, to see them, you mean to interview them?
If you'd like to interview them, that's fine.
Well, we probably won't be able to do that in time frame, or we'll probably have to do a separate date.
If you'd like to do that, that's fine there. I mean, you've never done that in the past, you've said that you kind of left it up to me, but
Well, but,
I would like to at least have them come to the commission meeting so that you meet them.
well, that's fine, but we probably won't be able to interview them all at once. And it depends
All
how
3 of
many-
them?
I don't know how many you're giving us.
I'm giving you 3 volunteers for sure.
The volunteers are fine,
And then the career guys will do a separate complete night, how about that?
correct, I misunderstood, I'm trying to control a computer.
I'm sorry, it was 2 different, yeah.
All right. Finance. Police department. or this was purchase orders, I'm sorry.
So you can see the different purchase orders that we've, purchased, for the last month. Get the arrow down. Are there any questions on the purchase orders?
No, these vests, outer vests, I presume that's for guns, correct, or no? Or,
Which one?
it says outer vest carrier is unit 55, I think you said.
Those are carriers for their vests.
Oh, okay. Carriers for their.
Sergeant Kidd, would you stand up for me, please? The vest that he's wearing right now actually is a carrier, so the vest is inside that carrier.
Oh, okay.
So we purchased the first one for them, and then they have to replace it with their uniform allowance. That vest carrier costs on the average about $260, just the carrier alone.
So there's a vest inside that?
That's correct. We buy the vest every 5 years, we replace them for them on a grant program. We get on the average about 50% of the cost back. The vest itself runs around $850, that we replace for every officer every 5 years, but the carrier itself is about $260, depending on what you get on it. And that probably gets replaced. We're going to a new material now to hopefully help it last a little longer, because we were getting maybe a year and a half out of them, before. So this is a new material, moisture wicking. So the vest is actually inside that carrier.
Nice.
So, but like I said, we buy the first one for the officers, with their vest, and then they have to replace it then thereafter.
Okay. So this is for the two new.
Yeah, the two guys in the academy.
I have no more questions. Anyone else have purchase order
Nope.
questions?
Only thing I'll add to the purchase orders is you'll notice on, PD3, the MAV-2 drone, I have, 2 officers in the back in civilian clothes today. We do have our new drone that we received through a grant here today, and we'd like to show you at the end of the meeting how it operates and what it can do, so.
Oh, cool. Is that it right there?
Yeah.
That's just like that?
It's, it was sponsored by Schilling, so we put Schilling's, had Schilling's, name put on it. It was one of their requirements, so.
Wonderful. All right. Todd,
I have one purchase order for you, because we don't spend any money at the fire department.
not this month.
I almost said that with a straight face, David. The miscellaneous one that you see is for the upstairs work that was done, as far as communications stuff. If you look at the $3,100, that's for equipment only. Cliff did all the work. And the estimate I got was like $7,000 to do all that work. And Cliff saved us $4,000 by doing it, so. Another, guy's worth his weight in gold.
Amen.
There is a whole stack of purchase orders gonna be approved at Tuesday's meeting for next month's meeting, so. We got behind on some of our purchase orders because Sandy was on vacation and we were pretty busy.
All right.
One last thing before we move on. So, I went to the council, last Tuesday, to amend my budget. Actually, both Chief and I both did, but I'll go over mine. And we transferred some funds around that we had, found extra money in through Margot's, office. The one thing that we're going to, purchase is a license plate recognition program, not cameras themselves yet, but the program to get into what's called, what's the name of it?
Vigilant?
Vigilant, thank you. It's called Vigilant. If we sign a 5-year contract, they gave us $5,000 off, so it cost us $14,500. This program will run on the laptops in the officer squad cars. The county has about 30 cameras up right now. St. John has one, Crown Point's getting ready to install some. The cameras unfortunately cost about $50,000. And then Whiting, Hammond, Highland.
Just about every,
Yeah.
just about
So
every.
they have these
department.
cameras up, and all they do is read license plates, and they're connected to the BMV's hot list of stolen items. What it will do is give our officers access, so if a vehicle goes through the intersection at 231 and 41 that's stolen, registered stolen, it will notify them on their laptop that the car just went through the intersection and comes back stolen. So the officers that are on 41 will know that and be able to look for it. It's worked wonders for the city of Crown Point. They have one in Delaware and 231, and the amount of cars. This was the example I received, how well it works. An officer in Crown Point had his car stolen in Ohio that have Vigilant. They came back and ran a query on it, and when they ran the query, the car had just gone through the intersection in a location in Ohio. They called that department and found the car completely intact in the parking lot.
Wow.
So, and he got his car back. So, it's a nationwide program. Any department that allows you to use their cameras will get you get access to. So, we're ready to go through with the contract and get that program, another tool for the officers to utilize in their investigative tools. So,
Excellent. If you take a stolen car report at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, how soon does it get in that system?
immediately, we send it to South Common, they import it right away. They put it in NCIC immediately. As soon as they have to sign a form that we have, called an NCIC form, which just has the same information on the back saying you're saying this is truthful and credible according to Indiana code. Once they sign that, then we send it to Southcom, and the dispatchers put it in immediately.
Perfect.
So from the start of the report, within 15 minutes, it's in NCIC. Would you guys agree?
From my experience with the LPR system, they upload it, I think, once or twice a day, so within...
Oh, the hot list you're referring to?
The hot list.
Yeah, the hot list only updates because it only accesses the BMV at certain times. But for us, we have stolen vehicles. If it's stolen, it's uploaded within 15 minutes.
So the system will recognize it within,
Probably every half a day,
okay.
so somewhere in that area. But it also recognizes stolen plates. And Officer Meyer, you had actually drove an LPR car in Whiting when he worked for them, so he had cameras on his squad car that did nothing but just read license plates. You know, it could tell you people that had warrants to suspended drivers, registered suspended drivers. So
It was a great investigation tool. If you had somebody steal something from Walgreens, and you had a vehicle description, you could do inquiry between times of what time you suspected the vehicle to go through the camera, and then get that vehicle, get the license plate, get the registered owner, go to the house, and then do it, get a warrant on the vehicle, arrest the driver, or whatever you could do. It's a great investigation tool.
Even if it wasn't reported stolen, you just recognize that the vehicle drove through a certain location?
Yes, you could do a license plate query, you can do time queries, you can do make and model query, all that stuff.
Wow.
you could go as little as a color query on a vehicle. And it'll give you a list of 100 cars that went through that intersection, so you'd have to narrow it down, but, it just keeps keeps the plates and the picture of the car, so.
And does it do the whole intersection, or just?
North and southbound.
Does that make you want to be a cop again?
Southbound, or both.
It depends on how you set up the camera.
What's 231s do?
I believe southbound, they have one at State Line also.
I just wondered if it had an eye that looked everywhere.
No, each camera is specific for each
Pointed
lane.
at the license
Yeah,
plate.
for each lane.
Yeah. Oh.
So, they also have one at Belshaw and 41, so.
Charlie, you have to put something over your plate.
I'm not one of the, just
Oh,
some of the
that's right.
people that do business with
I
me.
mean, you drive through them all the time, you don't even realize it, so. But the county invested like $30 million into this program, they have them everywhere. And, they give all the departments access to them, so.
That's great. All right, grant updates.
Like I said, I could give, these guys a few minutes to show you the drone, or we could do it at the end, but we received the grant from Schillings and, purchased the drone. They went through FAA schooling, went online and took the test. There's, FAA certified drone pilots, through the feds. And they will be our main, operators of the drone. The only other person that will operate the drone would be, Officer Pennington, who's a certified reconstructionist. But he probably will just have one of them operate it and, for crashes. So one of the nice things about this drone is that a fatal crash, Purdue will come down and program the drone to do the full scale picture drawing with the drone. Then they'll upload it, send it to Purdue, and they'll send it back to us, so we don't have to do it anymore, and they do it for free.
Excellent.
Yeah, so, that's the other reason that we got it. And I would say the third biggest reason we got it has infrared on it. And, if we have a person go down in our lake, which is rather shallow still, they could fly the drone over the lake and see the warmth of the body if we haven't located it and find them faster. So that could be, another useful tool.
Gentlemen, you wanna do it now or later? It's up to you.
Yeah. Yeah, you wanna interrupt
It's up to you, we're here, so.
We have to do this outside, right?
Yeah, it needs to be outside.
Oh, okay.
You can't fly that in.
I didn't know if we could see it in there.
Oh, they could.
It's
cover.
But you don't want to.
Yeah.
Goes haywire.
All right,
It better not for that cost.
Who got the screen?
Officer Machak worked with Schillings. You get it?
we need to have a letter sent from the, police or the.
We're gonna do a press release with them because we
But we
marked
still
it
need
up
to
with
send a letter
Schillings.
though, please.
Yeah.
Sarah, so if you could draft that, you can put all of our signatures on it, you can sign it, please.
It's gonna have to.
Okay, old business, update on Lexipol Fire Department.
You guys all have, you've had our policies for a while. Dave, got done with their review and told me to send them to you. If you're prepared to approve them tonight, then I'd like to see them approved. If not, then I'm okay to wait.
Okay, it's your decision, did you get to go through them at all, or?
I haven't read a word. I mean, without,
Are they-
how do you, you can't read all of these on this.
That's why they're on email, so you can open
Yeah,
up
I
on the
send them to you
computer.
on your
Well, I
email.
mean, this is all I have to do the email. How can, it just, we gotta do some we gotta print those out.
500 pages.
Well,
That was the
how do you-
reason that we went to
What do you
it
do for review?
though. I'm not disagreeing with you, sir. That's the reason we went to it though, was to get rid of paper
Well, I
because we're trying to
understand
save on
that,
that.
but now we got a problem. How do you expect us to approve something we haven't seen?
They don't. Normally they don't. If you haven't seen them, you shouldn't have.
No, I mean, this is all, you can't look at anything with this phone.
And you should have a hard copy anyway in your office, at least one full set, hard copy. I know, like, the chief said he, would as well. One full
We
set.
do.
Okay, so that we could review them there.
If you want me to make you a copy, I will.
I don't think we need the copy made, I think we just. need
Just,
to-
how about I make one,
And
put
we
it in
can
a
pass it
binder,
around.
and pass it around.
But the police, we
And we'll
was
do it
kinda
next month.
followed it quite a ways.
Mhm.
So I kinda had an idea
Yeah,
what was going on there,
right.
so I was comfortable with that. But yours, I don't have a clue, I haven't read one word.
That's fine, we can wait another month, right?
Well, I mean, if the other people are glad, I mean, I don't have any problem with it, I don't wanna hold it up.
Norm, I don't feel comfortable with the fact that you didn't look at them. So I would like to pull
I
them
mean, it just.
off the agenda
You
tonight. No,
can't
sir.
read anything on this.
No, sir, I understand. Let's pull them off the agenda for tonight. I will make sure I'll get you a binder and give you
It's
guys all
kinda
another,
nice
how about
to-
another month till the next meeting?
It's kinda nice just to have a general overview
Sure.
of what's going on.
I'm totally fine with that. No, it's no big deal. We didn't have these policies for
Well,
35 years, so
exactly,
what's
it's
another
all,
month?
it's
Not a
all,
big deal.
it's all new to everybody. so
Absolutely.
it's just, and it's a great thing. I mean,
Not a
it's-
problem at all.
It's impressive.
I'm good with that. Making one copy's not that bad, but trying to make.
And do we have a copy here too, Bill?
Not that bad.
Do we have a copy of the police?
I'll have Sandy,
Now that we're completed with it, we'll print one out and have
Only
one.
because if an older person comes in that doesn't have access to computer or whatever.
Well, we would still print one out if they
Right.
requested a copy of a certain one, but I'm not gonna print them out 500 pages for one,
Well, I understand.
one policy, yeah.
yeah.
So,
But we'll have one, like I told Dave, we'll have one at the station, a hard copy, we just have to maintain that one copy when we have updates.
Update.
Okay.
All right, equipment update.
Charlie.
Police. Yes, that's
It's
right.
it's also important to note, there's an index or a directory, so if you, as you want to look at something
Certainly.
specific, you can call up that, and, hard copy of a single policy, a page or two, can easily be provided on short notice. So,
That would be,
it was set up so that it was used, as
User-friendly,
user-friendly
very user-friendly, yeah.
as practical.
And you can actually search it using keywords. So if you're looking for, use of force, you can type in use of force and it'll bring you all the policies that have use of force involved in it.
I'm totally fine with that.
Okay, well, we'll get it
We'll
on
take
the
care
next
of it.
meeting. Police,
Norm, I'll give you a call,
All right.
I'll send you guys all a text when they're ready and
okay,
you can come and take a look at it, or take it home with you, I don't care.
Police Department purchase updates and transfers of funds, I think you've already covered that, correct?
Yes, sir.
Repair updates,
Just continuing to repair, we're keeping, very good, records of that. Matter of fact, Officer Solsky in the back is a records keeper for our vehicle repairs, and, we just had a conversation about it a couple of days ago, making sure everything's documented well. We're actually looking at some new programs to make it even more, user-friendly, like we've been doing, so, but, you know,
are
it
we gonna
is
have
what it
enough
is.
money in our budget to make it through the end of the year?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm still haven't reached the, you know, the percentage that I would normally be at October, so
All right, fabulous.
I'm under my budget. As
All
of
right.
September, I was right on, and this month I'm under, so.
Okay. Police, anything else on equipment? We're gonna go out to bid for new cars?
I'm gonna try to go, we don't have any availability for bidding yet because they don't know what pricing's gonna be next year yet.
Okay,
That's supposed to come pretty soon, but I'm gonna try, for January 1st to really hammer to get it down with the council and with you guys so that we can get them ordered faster. I know I need 5 and Todd needs 1 next year,
One or
so-
two, if we can swing the second one, that'd be good.
well, that's a wish list.
2.
I got a Suburban that I gotta replace, that's falling apart.
Yeah.
It'd be good to get 2 vehicles,
Why did that spending any money?
2 pickup trucks. You
Well,
know,
with the number of guys to rotate them out properly, I mean,
I got
So that's
vehicles
why
that
we
need
gotta
5 cars
we
every year.
got off the cycle, so we gotta get back on the cycle.
there was no we, I was not a part of that
Well, I
cycle
know.
beforehand, so.
We as in the town.
I have
Give us-
1990 vehicles that need to be replaced.
Can you give us an update on the, new cars that are?
So they're all at PDS. The last that I was told from Eric was that the first one is actually in the shop. He's waiting on one thing that's been back ordered, but he expected it to be in last week, and he's hoping that that truck will be out by the first week of November, and then each vehicle following a week after. So it takes about a week to get a vehicle done. So he's gonna knock each one out, boom, 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 with the last vehicle being the fire departments, because they're waiting on equipment. So,
Okay,
the hybrid vehicle.
but all of them are here now.
Yes, they're all at PDS.
Fabulous.
Except, I stand corrected, the truck is not. The new truck we ordered is not, that's, build date is June 30th of 2022. And we ordered it in March.
That'll be one of your set under next.
Is that the Ford, or is that the?
Done.
All right, fire department
Just,
purchase.
Charlie, could I?
Yes, sir.
Butt in just for a second? Bob, are you okay now with knowing where to get the information that you asked?
Yeah, I talked to Sarah and she's gonna work on that.
Okay, so you're okay with everything that's going on now? You know what's going on?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Did you have anything else?
No, sir.
Okay, Todd.
Okay, so, purchase update as far as vehicles are concerned too. I have a plan to replace our Suburban and another vehicle. If I can get 2 vehicles, and if I can, I get
So
one.
what's the other vehicle of?
Okay, the Suburban.
Car or?
It's a car and a Suburban, and then I would take my truck and Chief Monger's truck and put them in the system, replace those 2, and then have chief and assistant chief, or deputy chief get a new vehicle. I would like to do that next year as well, if we can, that's my wish list. Repair updates, I have about $15,000 to $16,000 worth of repairs or equipment repairs by the end of the year that has to be done. Our brush truck is currently up at fire service. The motor on the back of the brush truck finally blew up on it after all these years, so they're trying to find parts for it.
That would be the pump.
The pump motor,
The pump.
yeah, the actual pump motor. It's a Nissan, so it's kinda hard to get parts right now for foreign vehicles. Our second out engine, the bracket for the drop tank broke, it's gonna cost about $6,000 to fix it. So we have to buy a new assembly for it, which is outdated, so we'll have to actually either fix it or they're gonna refabricate it, so they're estimating between $4,000 and $6,000 to fix it. The ladder truck got UL certified. There was a small crack in the carrier where the ladder lays in, about this big. It went to fire service to get repaired. Everything else on the ladder truck passed with flying colors, so it's good for another year. And all the rest of the fire truck ladders got tested. We're gonna have pump testing done by the end of the year as well, which is another cost for each truck that has to be pump tested. And we have a few other, we've got some tires we have to buy yet by the end of the year. So there's a handful of things that need to be fixed and done to round out our year and our budget for equipment repairs. The building renovation, I'm very pleased to announce that we are 99.9% done with the upstairs and downstairs. We're getting ready to start on the training room in the back, which is the volunteers project, which they have allocated $14,000 to do, and are gonna do a lot of the work themselves as far as painting and stuff like that, fixing ceiling tiles and everything like that, and then.
And that 14,000 is from the association?
Yep. But the downstairs, the only thing we're waiting on in the main downstairs area is the kitchen countertops. They're on back order. Everything else is done Hen & Sons are pretty much gonna be out of Friday after they do their punch list. The upstairs has been done. The crews are very happy with the outcome. Chief Larry Stinger made them a nice table with an emblem upstairs on it. It looks really nice. The guy's a fabricator. He does a great job and stuff like that. So he got the materials and made a nice little round table so they can play poker, I guess. I don't know. Whatever they want to do upstairs during their downtime as much as possible. But I'm hoping by Thanksgiving I can have everybody there to see the progress of the station. If you didn't notice, our new sign was up, our old new sign. We fixed all the lights in it, and we had a local guy make, from Safari, Jack Adams from Safari Marketing, he made a new front for us, which I think looks fantastic. And an old sign made new, so it's kind of cool. I did get a price on getting a brand new sign. It was $6,500. We did that whole project for $1,000. So, and like I said, it looks nice. One thing we need to start doing, and I had a discussion with a few council people about, is looking at spec'ing out a new fire truck. We'll probably start that process in January, which will take us about 3 months to spec it out, and then almost 2 years to receive. That's how far they're out right now. So spec'ing it out, getting something in the pipe, we wouldn't even have to pay for it till it's delivered. So by the time it's delivered, if we build a spec or a custom truck, it's gonna be from January 1 of 2022, it'll be probably delivered in 24. That's how far behind the big manufacturers are. So I did have a discussion with Randy about starting that process in January, because we're gonna be so far behind, we already need the truck, so, hopefully by then.
It's just a regular fire truck.
It's a fire engine, yeah, pumper,
Okay.
yep. So, had a discussion with him, and
what's the
I'm gonna also,
estimated price, you think?
$650,000.
Is that 2024 money?
That's 2024 money, yeah. Yeah, because, I mean, it's gonna be it's good. It's not gonna be a stripped down truck. It'll be more conservative than what we're looking at, but it'll be a good truck. We'll spec it out properly.
Okay.
But I wanna put a budget of $650 on it.
Anything else under fire?
Nothing's under fire.
Good. Training updates, Bill?
As you can see, we had 3 training classes in the month of September, sending off to Stops Instructor School. That stands for Strategies and Tactics of Patrol Stops. 2 officers went to Blackwater, which is a SWAT team training, and then we had MDT training.
Who were the SWAT team guys? Who were they?
Miller and McDowell. That was before he fire trouble.
The fire training, we are sending 2 more people to CPR class to become CPR certified trainers. We are also going to have 2 more instructors being trained. And then we have, what was the third one I had on my list? That's on my email. I can't remember the third one, but you can see our daily training is very extensive. We did go to St. John last Sunday for an 11-hour live training. I was able to send 13 people up there, a mixed match of full-timers and volunteers, to spend the whole day up there doing live fire evolutions, and at the end of the day, they burned the building down, obviously with all the proper state permits.
What is
Before somebody asks that
dressing,
question.
what is dressing a hydrant? What is that?
Dressing a hydrant,
Yeah, just a short.
it means setting the hydrant up to be hooked up to for a fire.
All right. New business, monthly activity reports, police department.
You can see we had 1,143 calls for service in the month of September. We're approaching 10,000 for the year. We wrote 128 state citations, 181 warnings, a total of 23 arrests, charged 54 charges, 32 misdemeanors and 15 were felony, and 7 warrants. Total arrests for the year 233, total charges 421.
1,100 calls for service, how is that, year over year, how does that compare?
We're just above average. Just above. We're continuing to increase each month, just a little bit each month. Excuse me, sorry. Maybe, I'll tell you what, Dave, next month I'll see if I can have Cliff, do a comparison over the last 5 for you and.
Maybe a graph chart or something, or
Pardon?
like a graph chart or something, or?
I'll at least see some numbers, so you can see some number increases.
Okay.
I'm sure he can pretty much do anything with a computer, so.
Okay, fire department.
What I did remember was, we're sending, I'm gonna be sending 2 more to, fire investigator school. We currently have 5 investigators, and I'm gonna send 2 more to fire inspector school. Okay, now to the calls for the month. Last month, we had 147 calls. Our calls are up quite a bit. We're gonna probably have 300 more calls this year than we did last year. We're currently at 1,500, I think, is the current numbers. Because this is September's totals, so,
You said 16 earlier.
16, I'm sorry. We're currently close to 1,600.
What's driving the increase?
You know, it's just a mixed bag of everything. Car crashes, a lot of EMS calls, a lot of falls, EMS falls, constantly. I mean, we probably run 2 or 3 of those a day. Trouble breathing calls, a lot of death calls lately in town, both the police and fire responding to. You know, either somebody that's passed, you know, we have to go and check, and or full arrests. We had 2 full arrests in the last few days. Just, Dave, it's just kind of everything. It really is. We've had a few fires, you know, a couple more mutual aid calls than normal. Suicidal subjects this month has been a lot, you know, so.
Okay, anything else?
No.
All right,
Pretty
new
much.
business, police, in regards to.
We've been doing some reviews. In January of next year, we'd like to, limit the, number of days that the, front window is open. Right now, we don't have the staff for it, and Steve's been working in it for overtime. So I had Sarah reach out to other departments to find out how often they have their windows open. Some departments had a late day in the middle of the week and didn't work on the weekend. Some did it, and most of them did it once a month. So as of January 1st, I'd like to change our operating times to have the window open 1 Saturday a month, particularly the 2nd Saturday of the month, that we'll staff and you know, we can either work through overtime if we have it or adjust hours as needed. So
And what time do you want it to be open?
it'll be 7 to 3 like it is now, but it'll just be once a month. The big reason that we used to have it open was because of gun permits. They don't even have to come to the station anymore. So they can do it all online, they can send it to us, we can notify them online, everything's done online. They go get their prints done somewhere else, we don't do that anymore. So there's really not a big press for them to come to the station anymore.
Is there, what would you think would be the biggest thing why people would come to the
It
station?
was always gun permits on Saturdays,
I
yeah.
mean, but now that you explained it,
Yeah.
what, there's not.
There really isn't, but at least once a month we'll have somebody there so that if there's a report that's needed or they just need to come in for some reason and ask a question, we'll have somebody there at least once a month.
And during the week?
During the week, we're always there Monday through Friday, from 8, we're open from 8 to 4, so 8 to 4:30, so.
But just one weekend, or one weekend day?
Just one Saturday a month, so just need to get your approval to do that.
All right, I need a motion to approve, Saturday hours, one Saturday a month, the second Saturday, the holiday, I suppose, the Fourth of July.
Yeah, we'll adjust it if it's a holiday, so.
So moved.
That was the reason we went with the second Saturday, because the fourth is usually the
All
first
right,
weekend.
so I have a motion from Norm,
I'll second it.
second from Josh, any questions? Roll call vote, please.
Josh Garber.
Yes.
Jim Olthoff.
Yes.
Dave Vigalobo.
Yes.
Norm Stick.
Yes.
Charlie Caper.
Yes, motion carries 5-0. All right, any other pleasing business?
No, sir.
Okay, fire department,
Yeah, the CPR kit, we received, the township bought us a CPR kit with the mannequins. We had some really old stuff, and then we would have to borrow. Township trustee Kevin Toth, bought us, I don't remember what the cost was, $1,500 or $1,600 for the whole kit. And I asked, Charlie to put a letter together from the commission
if I signed it tonight.
to thank it, for that donation. The defibrillator program update, I have been doing research on that, and the used stock that we were talking about has become scarce now because nobody can get anything new, so people are buying all these used ones. And in a conversation with Charlie and Bill during a small, conversation we had the other day, thinking maybe getting just a few if we can get them, and still go out in the community at these places and make sure they're getting checked properly or serviced properly.
What is the price of a new,
$1,500, between $1,200 and $1,500, depends on the brand. And what I was trying to do was get the refurbished ones you could get for like $600.
right?
But now there's just, everybody's buying them, the airlines are buying them up, and everybody's just buying them, so it's just one of those things, so. Letter C there, narcotics and the DEA. We have to become a DEA certified, drug dealer, I guess. What's happening is the Department of Transportation is no longer going to be sponsoring the services to have narcotics, through the hospitals, so the hospitals are basically turning it over to the providers to have to be have their own certifications and their own policies, procedures, and storage and stuff for narcotics. And they came out recently with a new plan, and I asked Dave in our conversation last week to kind of vet that a little bit for us to see what kind of liability we would have. We also reached out to the insurance company, and the insurance company basically is on board with, we're currently doing it anyways, but we're not stocking a larger quantity of narcotics. We only stock what's in the ambulances. And then when we use it out in the scene, we get it replaced by the hospital. Well, now the hospital's not gonna replace it anymore. This is another thing they basically bailed on us with. So we're gonna be responsible for holding enough product to be able to restock our rigs and keep it refrigerated properly, or if it needs to be refrigerated or locked up properly as a larger quantity that would be in the ambulances. So as the fire chief, I would be responsible, obviously, for the maintenance and storage of these products as well. So all the agencies kind of around made a big stink out of it here recently, including me. I kind of was the instigator of it. So now the hospital is now putting it's getting somebody from the DEA, the state, and everybody together to do like an in-service training for us to discuss why and how this happened, and what the liability and risks are to having this in our name. So hopefully here in the next few weeks, we'll be able to get something together and sit down and talk to somebody about, concerns and questions, so.
You need to do another remodel on that for storage?
No, if I can get away with it, yeah.
The unfortunate
No.
part is we have a PDA license and have requirements for the storage of an archives, which you know is
I think you need to.
very, very protected.
So we need a new fire truck to store it.
Not saying anything.
Yeah, and you know, we're talking about narcotics, and obviously, we don't use a lot of them, a lot of it. You know, I mean, obviously, it's the paramedic's discretion on when it's actually used. You know, if you break a femur, you're probably gonna get some pain medicine from us, because you're gonna be screaming through the roof, and we're gonna try to make you as comfortable as possible until we get to the hospital, but there's people that ask for pain medicine all the time, and the medics won't give it to them because it's not warranted. But, at the same token, we have to stock it, supply it, and, you know, I think the last guy that got pain medicine was our police officer. He broke his arm. He was in a bad way. So, you know, we wanna make you comfortable so that you don't have, any other medical problems on the way to the hospital, so that you can.
Well, I'm gonna have Sarah put this on old business so we can continue.
Keep looking at it? Yeah.
Yeah, so it keeps coming up.
Good idea.
Please.
Let's do that, sir.
All right, any other new business, Todd?
No.
Okay.
I think I got it.
Our next, meeting falls on Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, so we're going to see what we can do to either meet on Monday or Tuesday. What pleasure of the board here.
Monday's better for me.
Josh,
I think that was the general consensus, wasn't it, Monday? 11:22, you're saying?
11:22.
Did that, when we were talking, I think that was a general consensus, that were you okay with Monday, the Monday before?
And there's a room available, we believe.
Yeah, I think it was all wide open for the 2 days, right?
So we need a motion to do that? Motion, please.
We'll have to advertise the movement of the date.
Need a motion to move to Monday, the, November 22nd meeting.
I'll make that motion.
A motion from Dave, is there a second? Second. Jim, any questions?
Same
Seeing none,
time,
roll call vote.
same time,
Same time?
Oh, yes, so, 6 o'clock.
okay. Josh Govert,
Yes.
Jim Olthoff,
Yes.
Dave Villalobos,
Yeah.
Norm Stick,
Yes.
Charlie Caper.
Yes, motion carries 5-0. Other new business. Okay, we will return to executive session after we have the demonstration of the new,
Drone.
drone. Public comment 3 more times. Anyone who wants to make public comment, please approach the podium, state your name and address. Public comment once. Public comment twice. Public comment 3 times. Being none, we'll call for adjournment. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion from Norm.
No, it was Dave. Did you? Oh,
I don't know if it was Norm or Dick.
Sorry.
Second from Dave. Roll call vote. Oh, was it Josh? I'm sorry.
No, that was me, Charlie, I messed you up, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna put it down as Josh.
Okay, Josh.
Okay.
All right, roll call vote, please.
Josh Govert,
Yes.
Jim Olthoff,
Yes.
Dave Villalobos,
Yes.
Norm Stick,
Yes.
Charlie Caper.
Yes, motion carries 5-0. So we'll go outside, look at the drone, and then we're gonna come back and go back.